Hello everybody, this is Art. I usually come to you from the studio, but I came to the studio and this is week 2 of the coronavirus. We have no idea how long this is going to be going on. This is week 2 of the quarantine, so I drove down to the studio to find out that it's closed. So I decided to shoot this from the studio anyway, and this time just on my iPhone. It's no big deal. So I set up a visor cam, and I'm going to read you 10 pages of the story that started it all. This was the very first screenplay I wrote, and it's called The Vacationary. It's based on true stories. I mean, it's 3 of my trips to Africa combined into one story. And a lot of people in the Christian realm know what a vacationary is. It's a guy who spends his vacation going out on missions trips. I found them very important because you get phone calls during them. But turn the ringer off. Rule number 1 when you do a video is you probably should turn your ringer off. Rule number 2 is you should probably have a studio and really good lighting and really good everything else, but I don't right now. And I just wanted to get something uploaded. Why waste this time? I've spent a week just reading billboards and Hollywood reporters and listening to podcasts and and of course presidential reports, and so I need to do something. So I started writing again and figured, well, I'll go ahead and release a video. Anyway, so phones are off. 10 pages about coming at you. This is called The Vacationary, based on a true story of 3 of my trips to Africa. So, here we go. Exterior outdoor festival stage. A large crowd is at an outdoor festival listening to Buddy Jewell as he's singing a Waylon Jennings song, Ain't Living Long Like This. Exterior monitor world. Continuous. Trey, a middle-aged Joe Dirt type, running the sound for the band. Various people are standing around him, all rocking out. Trey is moving dials as he looks at his cell phone. Looking at his cell phone, we see a huge storm front coming in. Trey looks behind him to see the front. Lightning and threatening dark clouds are moving in over the hills. Promoter walks up looking nervous. Promoter: I just got word from the National Weather Service. It looks like there might be a circulation in the front coming in. Trey: Are you calling the show? Promoter: I have to. Insurance. Trey: Well, there's only one road coming into here. Where do you expect everyone to go? Promoter: I guess to their cars. They can't stay on the field. Trey: 13,000 people? Promoter, looking scared and looking at the storm: I know. Buddy on stage finishes the song. Trey picks up a mic off the console. Trey: Hey, Buddy, have the band vamp a bit. You need to get over here. Buddy, as he touches his earpiece, looks to Trey, then the storm, and nods. Buddy, to the crowd: This is where the union says I have to take my smoke break, so I'm going to let you take the band do a little tune for you. Crowd cheers. Buddy turns to the band. Be right back. We're jumping too. The band looks a bit confused as Buddy walks off. There's a huge thunder that shakes everything, and the band starts to play. Buddy walks to the board. Buddy continued: What's up? Promoter: I'm sorry, Mr. Jewell, we're having to cut your set short. I'm going to have to make an announcement. Buddy shrugs it off. You can tell it does bother him. Buddy: It doesn't bother me. I get paid the same. Trey picks up the phone on the front of the board and presses the Basil flasher. Front of house, which is FOH. Another one is flashing. The front of house engineer picks up the phone. Trey: Prepare for an announcement. We're done for the day. Front of house engineer looks at the approaching front, hangs up, and starts packing. Band finishes the song, and instead of Buddy, the promoter walks out on stage. Promoter: Ladies and gentlemen, the Weather Service is reporting a severe storm in the area that might be heading this way. There's plenty of time, but we ask that you start heading off the field. There's only a front, but it might contain high winds and lightning. We will continue the concert as soon as it passes, but for everybody's safety, we have to clear the field. A huge lightning bolt flashes as he finishes, and the thunder rips. Trey is closing cases and putting a tarp on the board. Everyone on the stage is running and covering equipment. Another flash of lightning. Wind picks up. The front is here. Seemingly out of nowhere, Buddy runs up to help. Buddy, looking nervous: What can I do to help? Trey: You can get on the bus. Buddy: No, I want to help. Trey: Look, boss, I know I can save me. I doubt I can save us both. I know I will save me, so get on the bus. You're the gig, and I need the gig. Buddy turns to leave as there is a ripping and bending sound from above. Cut to the top of the stage where the roof is beginning to sway and bend. One of the guide ropes has broken. Trey to a stagehand running nearby. Throw me that guide rope! The stagehand brings the swinging rope to Trey and then runs to safety. Trey ties it to the handle of a 5-foot-tall road case full of gear and pushes it off the stage. It crashes into the ground and pulls the roof back so it doesn't completely collapse. Promoter. That's $40,000 worth of gear! Trey looks at him, shrugs. Insurance. Promoter. Who do you think you are? Trey walks over to the promoter and puts his hand on his shoulder. I'm just a roadie. Look, I know you care about each and every person on that field, but right now, you're standing on a stage made out of 5 tons of metal in a thunderstorm. Trey picks up his case of gear and heads off the stage as there's another huge bolt of lightning and a clap of thunder. Exterior bus, moments later. Trey opens the bus door and starts to board, looking past a fence where there are 5 fans gathered carrying a couple of signs. One of the fans, Hey, are you with Sarah Evans? Trey, Nah, not since her new boyfriend. It got weird. Fans look quizzical. Trey enters the bus. Interior bus continuous. Trey going on about 12 people. Party going on, I'm sorry. Interior bus continuous. Party going on, about 12 people in the front lounge. Woman gives Trey a beer. Another one is by a big bowl of candy. There is food and drinks everywhere. Woman, would you like some candy, little boy? Trey, let me show you how a roadie eats a Reese's. Trey takes the Reese's out and grabs the woman's hand and uses them to squeeze her breasts together. Then he places the Reese's between her breasts and bends over and takes a bite. Everyone laughs. Woman, don't get chocolate on my top. Trey, why? Might take me hours to lick it off. Trey finishes the candy and pours a shot of whiskey. Camera lifts out and fades to black. Interior, hotel room, before dawn. Buzzer goes off and a clock face that reads 2:45. Trey's in bed, mutters to himself. That's something they'd never tell you on MTV. 3 a.m. bus calls. Trey pours out of bed and heads to the bathroom. Move clock to 2:55. Trey comes out of the bathroom and grabs his backpack off the dresser and heads out the door. Interior bus continuous. Trey walks in and sits on the couch behind the driver by the counter. Dorf walks in and laughing with John. John's the drummer. Dorf, with deep southern accent. Trey, look out your window, man. Trey looks out the van to see another act from the day before. It's an African-American group that are loading in their gear. Dorf, continue. Look at the windows. They got Jerry curl all over them. I don't know how they can even see out. The side windows are covered in goop as the band was obviously trying to sleep on the road. Trey gives a disgusted look at Dorf. Trey, well, at least they're following their dreams. Dorf, I hope they follow them back to Africa. Trey, you do know what century you live in, right? Dorf walks to the back of the bus, obviously not happy. John, don't worry about Dorf. He's just a good old boy. Trey, there's nothing good or bored about him. I wish you'd forgotten that. I will give you that he's old and forgotten. John picks up his gear and walks to the back of the bus. A beat later, Trey follows. Fade out. Fade back into the interior of a grocery store. Trey is pushing a cart in the produce aisle and he sees an old friend, Autumn. She is in her late 20s with brown hair. Trey, hey Autumn. Autumn, hey Trey. Autumn walks over. Autumn, you still on the road? Trey, that's kind of what I do. You know the definition of a roadie, don't you? You still in the band? Autumn, well, no, that didn't work out so well. Trey, you had some really good players and I loved your album. I wish I could have worked with Charlie Peacock. Autumn, yeah, he was great. I just don't know how you do it on the road every weekend. It's a tough life. Trey, yeah, the only one I know. Besides, we're coming to the off season. I won't have a gig from November to February. Gig, I don't know if you'd be interested in this, but I'm working at a company that sends people on short-term missions trips. Trey, what's that? Well, that's where you go in a week or two and work with orphanages in third world countries. Trey, work with kids, huh? Well, I'm with musicians every weekend, kind of the same thing. Autumn, we have a trip to Uganda in January. If you'd like to go, you know anything about the country? Trey, Uganda, Africa, Great Apes, Idi Amin, Civil War. It's where AIDS started, isn't it? Autumn, yeah, I think so. Trey, also, Aren't they a coffee-producing country? Sure, maybe. Trey, okay, how much? Well, it'll be a couple of grand, but there's still time to spend sponsorship letters. Okay, but if only a couple grand, why would I do that? Okay, well, pray on it and see if it's what God would want you to do. You still go to church, right? Trey, when I can, but this time of year, church is mostly a podcast. Autumn, well, you do have time, so here's my card. Do some research and let me know. I think it'd be a great addition to the group. And have a wonderful time. You'll also have to get letters of recommendations from at least 3 church leaders. Would worship leaders count? Autumn, I don't see why not. Send me an email and I'll send you an information packet. Interior Trey's living room, night. It's a neat room with white walls, not a lot of mess, and seems to be styled after a hotel room. He is on the couch with a beer. He has a laptop and it's looking at Uganda. Also opening up pages with all the information Autumn has sent him. He sees he needs 3 letters of recommendation. Also, must attend a group meeting and be in 3 conference calls. Also sees itinerary for the trip. Group meets in Washington, D.C. Group flies to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Group flies to Entebbe and travels to Kampala, Uganda. Group flies and stays in Jinja, Uganda. Group travels and stays in Rakai, Uganda. Group travels to Kampala. Group leaves Entebbe for Washington. Group splits and returns. He starts typing an email and asks for a recommendation. You see that he's writing really famous worship leaders. There's no information about how he knows these people. Matt Redman, Chris Tomlin, Bart Millard, Mac Powell. He also sees that it's a suggested $2,800 with a $500 deposit. So he opens up his bank account program and transfers $2,800. There's a group meeting in a week with an address. Exterior suburban home, night. Walking up a path, Trey extends his arm and knocks on the door. Trey waits outside and begins to play with his breath. He blows smoke rings. Amanda from inside the door. Amanda, you must be Trey. Amanda gestures to Trey to come inside and follow her. Interior living room continuous. Trey, hi, you must be Amanda. How did you know it was me? Amanda, you're the only guy coming tonight. Trey enters the living room and it's a nice large track home, richly decorated and very contemporary in neutral colors. There's a couple of trays of snacks on the bar separating the family room from the kitchen. Amanda continued, can I get you something to drink and have water, coffee, a couple types of soft drinks? Oh, I'm sorry, everybody, this is Trey. Trey looks at the other guests. There are 4 women in casual attire seated around the room. Trey, I'll have water if that's okay. Amanda disappears into the kitchen and shouts, Amanda, y'all introduce yourselves. A nice-looking blonde on the couch starts. Carol, hi, I'm Carol. Sitting on the chair across from each other are 2 middle-aged, plain-looking brunette women. Dana, hi, I'm Dana. Emily, and I'm Emily. Trey notices that the clock on the DVD player is blinking 12 o'clock, so he walks over and fiddles with it. Trey, hey everybody, I'm Trey. I hope you don't mind, but I'm kind of a gadgety guy. I love to fix things. Emily, well, you can come over to my house. I have all kinds of things that need fixing. Trey shoots her a, are you flirting with me? Look as he walks over to an ottoman. Have a seat. You can see the time has been set to 6:03. Emily blushes as she realizes that he misinterpreted what she meant. Carol, so, Amanda says you're an audio engineer. My boyfriend is one as well. Trey, well, I think of myself more as a roadie, but who does he tour with? Carol, oh, he doesn't tour. He runs sound at a club in Knoxville, also at our church. Trey, I've always said that when I'm with the same band, I'm at a different place, and when I'm at the same place, I have a different band. Dana, have you worked with a lot of famous people? Trey, quite a few. Amanda enters and hands Trey a glass of water. Trey looks for a coaster and sets the glass on the table. Amanda sits next to Carol on the couch. Amanda, I was engaged to Chris Tomlin. I've been on the road a lot of his shows. Trey, I know Chris. I worked on his arriving CD release party in Nashville at Rocketown a few years ago. Also, our buses leave from the same parking lot. Amanda, looking a bit nervous. Oh, I was there that night. I don't think I remember you. Trey, I was just the guy behind the curtain. If you notice the sound guy, he's done something wrong. Everybody chuckles. Trey, You guys aren't together anymore? Amanda, no, I wanted to be, but he broke it off. I still don't know why, but I'm married and happier than I thought I could ever be. Trey realizes that he has touched on something uncomfortable and moves on. Carol reaches over and touches her friend on the shoulder. Trey looks over to the table next to him and sees a wedding picture of Amanda with her husband, obviously 10 years her junior. Trey, is this your husband? Yes, Simon, my knight in shining armor. We got married last year. Trey, cute couple. Emily, Trey, are you married? Trey, not anymore. Carol, you live here or in Knoxville? Carol, I'm in Knoxville. Amanda is my best friend, and I visit as often as I can. We met in college, and I've been inseparable ever since. I was the wild child, and Amanda kept me out of trouble. Amanda, as much as possible. Both laugh and joke to themselves. And that's the end of page 10. So you have just listened to the first 10 pages of the screenplay, The Vacationary, about a young roadie, think Joe Dirt, who travels to Africa on wild adventures with what could be described as the sorority from Legally Blonde. Anyway, have a great day, and we will talk to you on the next video. Hopefully inside the video, hopefully inside the booth, but maybe not. We'll see. Okay, bye.